Hi, I'm Lorraine from Draw Paint Create, and in this particular segment I want to show you how to draw up from a grid. So I've already marked out the A3, and what I'm doing here is I'm technically just roughly, because I do things on a rough, working out what is halfway between each, and you'll be able to see this clearer when I do the grid, when I actually pull out the grid. At the moment I have sitting next to me the painting that I did. I use a flat canvas, roll canvas, and the reason I do that is because essentially it has to go, like it stays flat and it gets a border around it and it goes in a folder. So what I've done is divide it into 8 sections. So the first one, an A3 is approximately 30 by 42. Now the reality is it's 29.7 by 42. If you buy a canvas in that's already made up, a stretch canvas from a shop, it will be 30 by 40 centimetres. Very few of them are actual A3 size. Now to divide this up, you'll need approximately for the width, if you're doing it upright, you will need 7.5 from the end and 15 down the middle, and height wise you will need, your halfway point is 21 centimetres and 10.5 will be roughly where your other sections will go. Now as you can see, drawing it up is fairly simple. You follow the same pattern and the same line markings are in each square that is on your original picture. Now the reality is I have actually got line drawings for, like when I do classes or I'm teaching somebody to draw this, and I've actually already done it into line drawings. But the reality is, so long as you follow the lines, you can do something off the internet, off one of your photos, print it out onto A4. As you can see, that's only an A4, and I'm taking it up to an A3 size. So long as you're sticking to the basics of the squares that you've put in, it's going to go up, go down, in size, be the same size. It's not going to matter. That's the beauty of it. And I have the two pictures there so you can actually see what I've done. Once you finish with this, you really won't be able to see the lines. This one's quite dark. However, on some of them you will. So the lighter you can keep your lines, the better off you're going to be. That's, the reality of it. It's actually going to impede your work if you're using light colours. Now, roughly that's where it says that it was, obviously just over the line. Now bear in mind my lines aren't completely accurate, however they close enough, and you'll see that by the drawing towards the end when you actually see the drawing finished. This is a really good method for your basics and a really good method for teaching. You can also turn it upside down if you don't really want to, like you're having trouble with seeing it and knowing that it is a specific picture that you're doing. Turn it upside down so that all you can see are shapes. And when you're doing shapes, all things tend to take on a different perspective, if you want to call it that. They really do take on, and it's amazing that so much, can be gained by turning your thing upside down. Okay, now I haven't finished the eye. I'm just about to do that. I'm trying to get the basics in and then get the other lines in. Now it doesn't help that I have white sections in this because they're highlights more so than anything. They're not actually part of the picture as such. And obviously I am just attempting to put in some of the markings that I can see in the other picture. It seems easier doing it from a line drawing as opposed to doing it from here, because it just makes it harder to put it in perspective. I have to work out whether or not I'm going on the inside or the outside of that line, making the nose a little bit bigger, obviously. This is actually why I do the line drawings up for most of my students. It's just too hard otherwise. They have trouble following a picture. If I was, to all intents and purposes, an experienced, if you want to call it that, person, then you would probably draw it freehand. But that's not necessarily a great way to teach. Once again, just following the lines. original picture. I'm putting a circle in at the top at the moment. I'm not sure my husband has done some of this, and I think he's put it on Zoom, which is not necessarily fantastic because you can't actually see what I'm doing. I can understand him moving it in a fraction, but not this much. It doesn't actually help at all. Obviously trying to get my lines and work out where they go. As you can see, I picked up my rubber before, took out a section of the nose, purely and simply because it was easier for me to see where I was going. Coming down, doing that section next. So we'll have the bottom of the mouth and nose section in. We'll also have the, where everything joins up, so the cheeks, all that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of highlights and shadows that need to come in. On that line. Take it, that's his lip. And you can see this is where the shadow or highlight will go around his face. And then we'll put in where his shoulder and neck would be. And take that off, even though on my page, obviously, I had a printer mark, which meant that it was white. That was a border that went all the way around. Now, in saying that, I have just, basically dismissed that and organised to have this going all the way down. So I'm gradually getting there. Gradually getting all the bits and pieces done. And that's just a light spot. I'm putting it in because that way I know the difference. Although there's not a lot of difference in colour, there is, slight differences. I must admit, I did find working out where the edge of the face was and trying to work the ear out was rather difficult. And the only reason I say that is there's not a lot of distinction between where the ear goes, where everything comes in, where, the side of the face was, where all of the bits and pieces were. It just all comes out of black. So it's very, very difficult to actually put in. Just trying to get some cheek in there. As you can see, really only got the ear to put back in now. And get that earring. And then it will be similar to what is there. We're just working on the highlights. Get a few of those in so that I know where they are. Be almost ready to paint. It's as simple as that to do your drawing. Bye for now. Bye.